Color me crazy, but I actually really like the new Si Spurrier Flash. I read issue 3 and got a little bit deeper into the story to see what he's doing, and I'm about to explain why I'm kind of getting a kick out of this series. What is up, true believers? It's Mason here with Comics and Crosses, where we discuss the eternal truths behind our modern mythology. And today we are doing a Christian perspective review of The Flash number 3. This is the current series by Si Spurrier and with art by Mike Deodato Jr. and colors by Mulvhill. This series, if you haven't been reading it, has been just recently launched. It's a new direction. Jeremy Adams was on the series before, bringing back Wally West, and now we continue with Wally West into a new direction, a very sci-fi, trippy deep dive into things going on hidden somewhere in the Speed Force or around the Speed Force. But what I want to talk about in this kind of review of The Flash number 3 is actually the incredible spirituality that is being put on display in this current Flash comic, especially with this one. There is often talk about spirituality in Christian circles, in places of faith, not even just Christianity, but in other religions, there is a sense of the unseen. Obviously, God is not presented as someone who can physically be seen directly in front of you, so there's an element of faith in things that are unseen. So this we kind of get a sense of in this issue of The Flash number 3. Si Spurrier has before written The Way of X, he's written for Hellblazer. He's certainly touched on the ideas of faith, religion, spirituality in his other comics. It seems to be something that he maybe likes doing or just keeps getting assigned to doing, who knows. But I will say, I may not agree with Si Spurrier on all the conclusions that he draws, but I really enjoy him talking about these things, right? And that's where I think we should approach this as. You may be a Christian, you may not be a Christian, you may have certain ideas about faith, religion, this and that, but enjoy the road of exploring them, enjoy that they can even be talked about. And that's where I think comics gives us a great place to meet and connect regardless of our backgrounds. Okay, so now I'm going to get into a bit of the story of this comic. So previously in The Flash, we have seen strange beings start to appear, issues with Wally using the Speed Force, seeing strange entities that he's never seen before, this idea of the uncoiled, something that has either no speed or reverse speed. Very wild concepts, okay? And these big, tall, angelic beings that seem to really look down on Wally and humans in general. But now in this issue, he's going to Mr. Terrific for help, and Max Mercury shows up, and they're trying to dive deeper into what are these things that Wally is seeing, what is he experiencing, what are these issues with the Speed Force. And he ends up going down into this very deep level of an unseen world, where you see the entities of already deceased characters that have had some connection to the Speed Force, and then a place of total serenity and peace. Kind of wild. I'll get into that in just a second. So the first crazy thing is that when they get down into this deep place where they're seeing these sort of like lost wandering souls in this weird place, Max literally calls it the spirit realm, a spiritual realm, which is crazy because that's a term that I would expect to hear in church or maybe in some kind of religious setting, maybe spiritual, non-religious, whatever. But they're actually in a place of spirit realm where they're seeing things that are not seen. They are in the same place and yet they're not. They're kind of seeing beyond. So that is obviously a concept that is familiar to religious folks, certainly familiar to Christianity, the idea of seeing angels, demons, things at work behind the scenes that we typically are unaware of. People will say, my guardian angel, they'll say that I felt a presence, sometimes a dark presence. Like, have you ever seen those ghost hunter shows where they're in black light and they have a camera on them and they're always running out of the house because they heard something or thought they saw something and we never really see anything? But, an experience, a spiritual experience, even if it's not seen in the natural realm. So they're having this kind of experience is being visualized with really interesting, trippy art, by Mike Deodato Jr. Very acid trippy, very interesting stuff. The other cool thing here is that after some significant events, I won't try to spoil everything here, but the Flash does come to a place that is like a serene place of peace, where there's these kind of monuments to the different moments and things in his life, and he feels a certain calm and peace, and it's very much like a heaven type setting. And perhaps this is the heaven of the Speed Force. We're yet to kind of learn some more things about this, but he actually says things like so profoundly tranquil, I feel the tears rise in my eyes. So isn't there something I'm meant to be doing? Someone I've got to rescue? Or strange, some of these faces familiar, but the shoulders go back. The anxieties dissolve. No stress, no responsibility, just perfect porcelain peace. And so that, I think, intentionally is a description that sounds like the way people describe heaven, or who have had a near-death experience, an out-of-body experience. These things are documented where a lot of people describe them as feeling like being back in the womb, or there was no anxiety, no stress, no pressures of feeling like I needed to do anything. So these feelings of peace, which Jesus is described in Holy Scripture as the Prince of Peace. So the idea of being in his presence, being reconciled to God, and being in heaven in the presence of the living God would be one of complete peace, right? So kind of interesting, definitely spiritual, definitely otherworldly this kind of issue is. And I feel like we're going to see more of this, because we definitely got a taste of it in previous issues with the angelic beings. Holy of Holies, I think they were quoting. So if you're into religious symbolism and kind of trippy adventures, deep dives into deep ideas of spirituality and even religion, The Flash has quickly become the title for that. So, and again, not too surprisingly, as Si Spurrier has done some interesting work around this subject. Not everybody likes it. I have, Christian friends who don't care for his take on things, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm enjoying the ideas and the themes, and so I hope you are too. Let me know in the comments. Has this series been fun for you? What are you thinking? Or is there things that you didn't get out of it that I did, or things that you saw that I didn't mention, which there could be? I'm kind of catching up on my feedback on this title. So thanks so much for tuning in. More great content coming your way. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Peace.